Legs feed the wolf. You may have heard this popular saying, and it definitely applies to hockey as well. It's no secret that goalies require strong legs to be able to do anything they need to do on the ice, but they also need to be explosive and well conditioned. However, it's not always easy to find a way to train in an efficient and effective way that helps your goaltending. In this video, I'm going to talk about what goalies need to train, how to train, and if you stay until the end of the video, I will give you a sample leg workout. By the end of this video, you will know more than 95% of people about how to train your legs for goaltending. The first element of leg training we're going to talk about is explosiveness or power. Power is defined simply as strength expressed quickly, and as goaltenders, it's very important for us. We need to butterfly quickly, we need to get up from the butterfly quickly, we need to move around the crease, and we want to do all those things in an explosive way. We don't want to be slow when we do them, so therefore we need to train our power off the ice. And the way I like to do that is with plyometrics, jumps, and sprints. The reason I'm talking about power and explosiveness first is because it is what we want to do first in a workout. These kinds of exercises are best done when our nervous system is fresh, our legs aren't too tired from other exercises. You really want to be able to apply as much power and energy to these exercises as possible. It's not about being tired, it's about expressing that force quickly. So you want to be fresh when you do these exercises. I can't recommend a specific rep range for power exercises. It depends on the person and your experience, but generally you want to keep these reps and sets lower. So for example, something like a broad jump, you would do maybe 5 sets of 3 reps, making sure that you're fully rested in between each set. Like I said earlier, the point of power training is to be fresh and powerful and explosive, and you can't do that if you're tired. You want to pick a rep range where you're still able to put a lot of effort into each rep, right? You want to have good intentions behind each rep. You don't want them to be sloppy. You don't want to be tired. For example, if we're doing something like a broad jump, I would say like 5 sets of 3 reps. If we're doing sprints, it could be maybe even just 6 40-meter sprints with full rest in between. You can obviously increase that as you get more practice, as you get in better shape, but you don't need to go crazy with it. Plyometrics as well depends on which variations you're doing. So if you're doing something with max intent, like a max effort leap where you're jumping with 2 legs as high as you can, maybe 10 to 20 reps per workout. You don't need to go crazy with this. Something like that could work. So same thing with hops. When you're jumping with just 1 leg, lower reps are better, anywhere from 10 to 20, probably no more than 40 reps in a session. I would probably keep it around 20 reps per session. Do power workouts up to 2 times a week probably. In the off season, you could maybe stretch this to 3 times a week. And during the season, you might even reduce it to 1 time per week. The next training quality we're going to talk about is strength. Strength can mean a lot of things depending on who you're talking to and what the context is. But in this case, we just mean the ability to produce force. To train strength, I believe in focusing on basic weight training exercises. And you can think about it this way. If you can squat 400 pounds, then 200 pounds will be a lot easier to you than someone who can only squat 300 pounds as a max. It is a lower percentage of your relative strength, so you're going to be quicker and you'll get less tired. Strength, because of that reason, is really the foundation of everything that we do. So it makes sense for goalies to get stronger on the basic exercises. It will just make your life on the ice a lot easier. To build leg strength, you only need 2 exercises, back squats and deadlifts. Now, there are many other exercises you can do. You can get results with a bunch of different squat and deadlift variations or other exercises as well. But in this case, we have limited time. We're goalies, we have to be on the ice, we have to train so many different things that I want to keep it as simple as possible. And in that case, if you just focus on squats and deadlifts and slowly increasing the weight you can lift in those exercises, you'll get all the strength that you need as a goalie. There is no specific rep range that I would recommend for strength. It is hard to say because you can do different things. Generally, around 5 reps per set is a good number, but you can also get results with getting up to 10 reps per set. And some people even like to go lower to 3 reps per set. I don't think that's necessary. I would stay around 5 to 10 reps on the squat, and on the deadlift, I would stay around 5 reps per set. It's just easier because it's a harder exercise. You don't want to go higher rep in that one. You can always experiment and try different rep ranges. There are no hard and fast rules when it comes to this stuff. So you can start around 5 reps per set, and then if you want to change that up over time, you can increase to 10 reps. You can go to 8 reps. It's up to you. You can try different things and see what works for you. Anywhere from 2 to 4 sets is generally recommended for strength training. I would say around 3 sets. You can go a little bit lower to 2 or a little bit higher to 4. but as long as you're staying around that range, you should be fine. We also can't forget about single leg training. As goalies, there is such a huge benefit to doing this. Just focusing on getting stronger on one leg at a time has a huge carryover to what we do on the ice. Now, it's not like the squat and deadlift where you try to get as strong as possible. The reality is that you just can't handle as much weight in single leg exercises. It's also a little bit more dangerous to try to carry a high amount of weight if you're doing a single leg squat or a single leg deadlift. If you're doing a single leg deadlift, 135 pounds is a great amount of weight to work up to. Single leg squats, even if you're holding like 60 pounds, that's excellent. You're gonna notice a big benefit from getting that strong. And it's more about training your balance and stability and all those things together along with the strength. That's where the benefits come from. So you don't need to go crazy. It's just great if you can add these exercises in after that strength work. So if we're looking at designing the workout, we start with the power exercises, then we go to strength, and then after that, I would add in the single leg exercises. And with these, you can go a little bit higher with the rep range. I would be looking at anywhere from 8 to 15 reps per set, and you can do 3 to 4 sets is just fine. We can also do single leg exercises with no added weight, but in this case, we're focusing on little cues that make the exercise harder. So for example, if you're doing a split squat with your front foot elevated, what you want to think about is making sure that the front leg, the knee doesn't go out. So sometimes your knee will track out to the side. You want to keep it in at a normal angle facing straight ahead, and you want to turn your pelvis to the leg that's in front. That will make the exercise a lot harder. You can also think about pushing your heel back, and that will engage your hamstrings. So little cues like that can be added to single leg exercises, and you don't need really any weight at all to make them challenging. Finally, let's talk about conditioning. Obviously on the ice, we can't get tired. If you are killing off a penalty or you're holding on to a 1-goal lead at the end of the game, you don't want to be so tired that you can't move around the ice at your highest ability. So conditioning is really important for goalies, and I break down conditioning into a few different components. There is the endurance to play for a long time, so making sure your legs are capable to last the entire game. And for something like that, I would focus on going for a long jog or a long bike ride, anywhere from 30 to 90 minutes, working up to 90 minutes ideally. That can provide a big benefit for that overall conditioning that will last you throughout the game. Then there's also isometric endurance. So if you think about holding a crouch stance, if you're moving around the crease, your knees are going to be a little bit more bent. You don't want to get tired in that position. So you could train those isometrics with things like wall sits or lunge holds. Those are really excellent. Getting up from anywhere from a minute to 5 minutes in those exercises will have a big benefit to your conditioning on the ice. And then finally, something like repeat power endurance. So think about, even in practice, you're facing a lot of shots, you're going down, you're getting up, you're moving around a lot, and that takes a lot of explosiveness. And it's easy to get tired when you're doing those kinds of powerful movements. The way we want to train that off the ice is with something like squat jumps. So you do them in a repeated fashion. So you could do, for example, squat jumps for a continuous set of 20 seconds, rest for a little bit, and then repeat that. And obviously the amount of sets and reps will depend on your conditioning level, but this is a great way to train and build that repeat power endurance that we need on the ice. It's important to remember that a lot of the goalie specific conditioning that we need to do, that's done on the ice. That's done with practices a few times a week. That's done with games. You're getting that goalie specific cardio that way. And then these things are just an additional thing to add on top of that. Now, as promised, let's look at how to set up a sample leg workout. If it's the off season, you can do this workout 2 to 3 times per week. If you're in season, you will want to reduce this workout to maybe just 1 time per week, just to maintain the qualities that you built in the off season. We'll start with power. So let's say we'll do plyometrics. We may spend about 10 minutes on these plyos, starting with some light variations to get warm, and then working up to our max effort exercises at the end. Anywhere from 100 to 200 landings is good, but you want to make sure that you start at a level that you're capable of, even if it's much lower than this. Then we work on strength. So in this workout, we will do squats for 3 sets of 5 reps. Now we work on single leg strength. So we'll do the single leg deadlift for 3 sets of 10 reps, making sure to rest in between sets so we're fresh for each new set. Finally, for conditioning, we're going to finish with squat jumps for time. 3 sets of 30 seconds is an excellent way to do this. You can also change this over time. So you can do phases where you focus on a certain exercise for a while and then switch it up after 6 to 12 weeks. The most important thing is to be consistent. So pick a good, reasonable training program and stay consistent with that for months. If you have any questions, please put them in the comments and I will respond to you. If you like this video, please click like and make sure you subscribe to the channel.